The crew believed they were flying safely down McMurdo Sound, whereas in fact they were tracking into Lewis Bay on a collision course with Erebus. What followed was one of the most bizarre coincidences in aviation history. As Collins commenced his letdown into the large, clear area to the north of Ross Island, all the regulatory prerequisites for a safe visual approach appeared to be in place. Collins proceeded into his right-hand turn, at which stage the plane's radar detector or transponder was coding, indicating that McMurdo had them on radar. But their textbook avoidance of cloud throughout the letdown was leading them unwittingly into the area below cloud, where their eyes would fail them without them being even vaguely aware of it. The passenger photographs demonstrate that there was at least 40 miles of visibility. The mystery is how the crew didn't see the 12,000-foot mountain in front of them.
In the Lewis Bay area, there is normally a 2-foot deep pool of residual sea fog, which sits clear of the ice cliffs at the base of Mount Erebus. However, on the day of the accident, with the wind prevailing and supported by wind tunnel tests by Professor Anakawa, the wind back eddy would draw the residual pool of sea fog up against the ice cliffs, ramping them out and forming a long white plateau through and up the ice slopes of Erebus, merging in the far distance with the base of the stratus. This plateau effect was later supported by a movie taken by Captain Foley over the accident site while looking from the wreckage towards the Lewis Bay area. The crew were initially in sector whiteout, that is, only the sector immediately ahead was in whiteout. This is a powerful trap because they would suspect nothing at that stage. They would be reassuring themselves by visual ranging onto the textured cliffs on each side. They would see a distinct horizon ahead, either by the cloud cutting the slopes ahead or by the known psychological effects of fill-in or line joining, or by the gradual shading difference ahead, causing a horizon line by marked band effect. It would be only at the last moment, as the textured cliffs moved out of their vision, that they would experience the full whiteout. Go around cloud, please.
To expand on the mental sets the crew of 901 were subject to, let's show you again what a mental set is. We induced in you a simple mental set. This young lady can also be observed in this diagram. But now we'll unlock this set by showing you an old lady in the same diagram. We similarly caused you to perceive this skull first by presenting it after the crash sequence. The context set your choice and perception, but also ladies eating at a table can be observed. Let's imagine the brain as a library and show how the memory of earlier experiences shapes perception. Each of these books represents elements that shaped the crew's perception. Sets are established all through life and used to form automatic responses to diverse stimuli. For example, driving from work to home, you drive automatically without stopping to recheck any of the road signs. The strength of a set and its resistance to being unlocked is determined by the authority behind the set, the frequency of repetition, and the number of people sharing the set. Mental set is the brain's method of establishing a code or shorthand for predictable circumstances. Let's now look at the specific mental sets the crew of 901 were subject to.
Briefing is a formal authoritative exercise intentionally used to induce useful mental sets and to allow pre-visualization for any flight route. It is imperative they notify any non-standard procedures required for the crew loop. The crew were briefed for an approach up McMurdo Sound, but were not briefed of the master computer change. They were given an incorrect briefing on whiteout. The correct information was available in the Aroa document. Collins and crew believed the visual flight rules had been revised specifically for the Antarctic flights, with the increase from 8 kilometres to 20 kilometres. In other words, the set had been consciously corrected by company experts. The set was further reinforced by visual clearance from the tower up McMurdo Sound at 1,500 feet. Crew loop is the term given to the psychologically bonded crew trained to operate a large airliner. No one crew member can operate the aircraft alone. Close teamwork is required and their duties overlap and each monitors the others. They communicate by verbal shorthand and body language. Apart from providing early detection of any form of incapacitation, the loop also positively ensures that only standard operating procedures are used. Captain Collins' careful map preparation the night before the flight further reinforced his set for flying up McMurdo Sound, but this was invalidated without his knowledge only hours before departure by the unnotified change to the McMurdo waypoint. The McMurdo set was further reinforced because no message followed this ops flash. The crew would therefore believe that they'd been issued with and loaded the one and only flight plan to the Antarctic held in the company master computer. The unanimity of the three nav systems, together with the excellent weather to the north, would provide the crew with accurate visual checks of their position and reinforce the set that they were progressing exactly as planned in the briefing. The visual checks over the waypoints checked their lines of constant bearing, and visual ranging at the waypoints would further reinforce their set. The transponder or radar detector flashing would have indicated that McMurdo Tower had them on radar in the correct position, as would the tower's clearance visual to 1,500 feet.